time comes, you gotta run and don't look back. This is over.
Hey guys, so if you've been on the internet at all this last week, you have definitely seen the new Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. Not only is it awesome, but it seems like every YouTuber is making an analysis video where they go frame by frame through the trailer and see what they can see in the trailer. That's great, but it gave me an idea. Before we talk about that, let's talk about this. On the off chance that you have not seen this yet, this is the map that was leaked back in April on NeoGAF by Midian. Though he never named his source, this was on the internet for a long time. Now, don't believe what anybody tells you. This was never conclusively proven true or false. It seems like most people are doubting that it's true, but today, I think I can prove otherwise. If you know a little bit about Rockstar's development process, this is something called a concept map, as in, not a final working version, but just getting all their ideas on paper before it's refined into the final product. Quick disclaimer, I'm not using the original picture that was posted on NeoGAF. I'm using a more legible version that was redrawn by MrTibbs, so big credits to him. Point being, the original picture is really unfinished, which seemed to make other people think it was a forgery or a hoax, but led me to believe it's not the final gameplay map. So, over a couple of different interviews for Grand Theft Auto 5, Dan Houser and a couple of level designers shed some light on the process. They get together and brainstorm the things that they want to see in the map, locations that would be cool. They have about 6 to 8 concept artists just working on this blueprint for 9 months to a whole year. Only once they have this blueprint do they start building it in 3D. This means the geography and the names of places are only placeholders that will be removed later. Now that you're all up to speed, let's get into the trailer. Now, if it really is only coming out in 1 year, we can safely assume this is the final map. Anyway, this is the first clear landscape that we can see from the trailer. So here we can see these snowy mountain peaks going up to the right side, this winding river down the center, and a sloping valley in the middle. In other words, a big valley and a little creek. Now if we look back to the concept map, guess what we find? Big mountains to the north and the plains to the south, just like in the picture. This might be another view of the same area, where we can really see the resemblance to the northern end of the little creek. However, Redditor Dinged Forrester has a different theory, that this scene is to the south in Bluegill Marsh. He notes inaccuracies, however, and ultimately it's hard to decide. We may not be able to see much in this shot, but we can listen. Listen again. We can hear frogs and crickets in the background. It sounds like a swamp or a bayou. From the trees and the marshy water, it looks like one too. This is on the map as well. Here's another clear shot of the landscape. Notice the snowy peaks in the distance, the greener mountains in the background, and the homestead in the foreground. This could be McLean's house. If we look to the north, the Cumberland Forest appears to be a mountain, like the green one we saw, and above that is the Grizzlies, the snow-capped peaks we saw earlier. Again, not much to be seen here, but it connects pretty well to the map. That shoreline in the distance could be the south end of Big Valley. This scene is one of my favorites. I was trying to figure it out myself when a Redditor named Uve912 basically figured it out, and it aligns perfectly. He comes to the same conclusion. Cumberland Forest is a small green hill, and the Grizzlies are tall snow-capped mountains. The pig farm and train tracks only give this more credibility. This next scene is something of a stretch, but still worth noting. See that tall mountain in the background? Pretty distinctive, right? Well, we're definitely looking at a town, not a settlement. On the map, towns are marked in green. The only town this far into the mountains would be Strawberry. So this could be our first glimpse. This barn has a pretty good view of the Cumberland Forest. If I had to guess, this might be Emerald Ranch facing north. Here's where things get really interesting. The oil fields. I turned up the brightness for you to see the old-fashioned wooden oil derricks. This is a picture of one from 1900, so this is an oil field. Now let's go to the map. And there it is. This would be a very specific detail for a hoaxer to put in, with a 1 in a million chance of getting it right. And that brings us to the final scene. There is a lot to be seen here, so we'll go through it slowly. You probably didn't see this to the left of the black horse. What is it? If you watch in HD, you might be able to vaguely see black lines going through the post. And a few frames later, you can see this trestle bridge to the left. Now let's take a look at the train scene from earlier. If you look closely, you can see these telegraph poles going along the railroad tracks. And back then, they didn't make trestle bridges for horses, just for trains. So the gang is coming from the train tracks. They might have just robbed a train, and are now making their getaway toward this weird horseshoe rock. Let's check the map. And there it is. We can see the mountain ranges to their right, so they must be going south or west. But wait, that's not all. In the description for the trailer, Rockstar writes, Red Dead Redemption 2 is an epic tale of life in America's unforgiving heartland. Guess what's printed on the very center of the map? Keep in mind these maps were made months ago. Rockstar uses the word heartland in all of their marketing material for this game. And it's not just a pretty word. Geographically, it means the center of the United States. Knowing that, that is the setting of Red Dead Redemption 2. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and comment if you want to see more videos like this.